Well, hello there. Congrats to Cocotype for nabbing the first award. Evil Tim Cook be like, good evening. We're incredibly bored by what we're going to show you tonight. Is that a commentary on the content of today's stream, Cocotype? Oof. What's up, Jay Wilson? How you doing? Hey, Adam. And hello to everyone else who is here. Oh boy, what a day. What a day it will be. Well, what a day it has been. Today's been busy. Hoo boy. But I am happy to be working on my own stuff. Sup. Ooh, where'd you get that? Nucleum. Nice. Doing alright. A little sleepy. Gotta crank out some work, so after work tomorrow I can focus on my own stuff. Jay, I hear ya. That's what I was doing right before my stream. Ah! Oh, man. We're never gonna retire, are we? Never, ever. No, Tim Cook would never watch the Nutterfy stream. That would imply he cares about developers. That's true. He streams indie games. No work outside of work. Nah, not even with AI. Yeah, eventually you're gonna have to shut the laptop, the work laptop. It's for your own sanity. Believe me. I continue to make this same mistake over and over again. I don't know why. I'm behind and it's my fault. Oh, I feel that way all the time, Jay. Geez, that at complete didn't work right. That's okay. We know that you meant evil Tim Cook. So what's going on today? I need to update my Trello. Hold on a second. What's happening here? So I have something called update debugging view to include all Swift data model instances in the database to test migration. I have finished that. So I'm putting that into pending release. And now I'm going to where was the other one? Oh, it's this thing. Vector path template tab, UI UX is the task for today. So this ticket includes a schema migration. I started this like a week ago. Was seeing some core data errors in the console. It's possible that they have been there before. I just noticed them while I was attempting the migration, and I've been trying to get to a point where those migration or those errors don't happen. I have been unsuccessful so far. So that's what put me on the path to checking out the debug view to seeing if there was anything going on that was weird. I did some mapping of how the database stores all of my data. And I realized that like it's a weird thing that it does when you're dealing with enums. If you're trying to store an enum in your database, in your Swift data model, it does some weird stuff. If it's possible for you to be important enough to the company that you alone being behind is enough to throw the company off, then you'd best be getting compensated accordingly, and I suspect you aren't. Cocotype speaks the truth. Unfortunately, yeah, it's real life is it's kind of rough that way. Yep. What language is this? No line terminating symbols. I think I want to puke. R2ATHD2. This is Swift. This is Swift. How you doing? Welcome. You are correct. When there are only 4-ish people, it makes it hard to feel like me being behind is not an issue. Are enums stored as either strings or integers? So enums are in Swift a type that can hold any value. Different from Objective-C enums, which are integer based, or well, I'll just show you. I'll just show you the madness here. Let's see. Is it you? So this is an example of one that has a raw value of an int32. But let's go find an enum that's giving me grief. We'll go to artboard path, drawable core, or codable stroke style. Not you. Codable shape style. Okay. Here is one source of all my problems. Wait, does that even make sense? Here is a source of many of my problems. Hello, King. How you doing? What is that? What is this? This is, it's madness is what it is. So this is an enum called codable shape style, which conforms to the codable protocol, which allows us to basically archive and unarchive instances of this data type. And I've got these three cases. These are basically enums with associated values, associated types. So anything that's in the parentheses gets carried along for the ride. So I've got three possible shape styles that I can archive. Okay, one is a color, and it's basically this. This is defined as a SwiftUI color. Basically has these four properties: red, green, blue, alpha. But SwiftUI colors are not codable. They cannot be as is inserted into a Swift data model. Instead, we have to create something that's codable. So I made this codable color. But the issue is I am trying to store a shape style, which a shape style is also a protocol in SwiftUI. Shape styles they can be colors, or they can be gradients, or they can be other things that provide a fill to a view. Currently, I am focused on solid colors and linear and radial gradients. So those are the types that I defined in my project here. So codable linear gradient has this is just a simple struct, simple struct that has a gradient, a start and end point. And again, I had to define all of these because these are all based on SwiftUI types, none of which can be archived as is. We haven't even started making the fun mistakes yet. Just wait. Oh yeah, Oh yeah, it's about to get crazy. I'd rather just stick to C++. Okay, cool. Thanks, LMA. Oh, that is nuts. Well, thank you. I think that's funny. If you've already got C++ down, I think actually you might enjoy writing in Swift. I would give it a shot. I think you'd be just fine here. It's ultimately management's issue, says Cocotype. Their whole job is to provide the resources needed to accomplish the goal. If you start working outside of work, you're just donating your time to them for free. If they can't deliver their deadlines with the resources they've made available, they either need to increase the resources, cut scope, or expand their deadline. All true statements, Cocotype. Netter's going to end up banning me for labor agitation. Class solidarity. No, you're not wrong, Cocotype. Here's the thing. There are some places of employment where you wear many hats. And many places of employment that would just as soon replace you with AI if they could. Seems like it's steering that direction. We're in a difficult position right now, right? It's hard. Obviously, management is enamored by the idea of AI doing everything flawlessly, so that they can just think of the awesome ideas, or even have AI think of their awesome ideas for them. Just get customers automatically, and everybody wins. That's what's out there. That's the landscape that's out there. I totally agree and would fully understand if part of this being behind wasn't my fault. I understand how you feel, Jay. It's difficult not to feel like but at the same time, if you've been given a monumental task and you're doing your best and it's just not happening as fast as they want it to happen, I mean, I wouldn't put the blame all on yourself. You know what I mean? Yes, I worked as a clown for several years and I wore several hats all at once. What was your favorite hat to wear, Kuhn? So we'll march day and night by the big cooling tower. They have the plant, but we have. What is that? What is that song? In a team, it is never the fault of a single individual. I appreciate all the support, y'all. Yeah, Jay. Please don't beat yourself up about it. Again, this is me who doesn't heed my own advice because I was literally pushing a commit 20 minutes ago. 25 minutes ago. So, no, I mean, it is maybe you come in late tomorrow, or maybe you don't come in at all tomorrow. Maybe. It's from the Simpsons Union episode. The same was dental plan. Oh, Lisa needs braces. That's the one it is? Oh, I totally did not catch that. Shoot. I got to rewatch that, and I have to start watching Battlestar Galactica. Or no, Stargate SG-1. Never mind. But both. No, both. Both I have to watch them. Anyway, what I was saying, so all these codable types are based on SwiftUI counterparts. I'm just creating all of these so that I can store the data into one type. But here's what happened, you guys. This is crazy stuff. I'm about to show you something, and I don't want you to get scared. Don't get scared. This is crazy stuff. You guys ready for this? Oh dear. So This codable shape style, it turns out that when Swift Data creates a table to store your data, they create columns for every possible enum state. They're separate columns. And so what happens is you have this seemingly simple case, color, codable color, case, linear gradient, codable linear gradient, case, radial gradient, codable radial gradient. Swift Data decides, at least for the SQLite database, which is the standard, which is the default, decides to create a separate column for every property inside your all of your cases. In this case, I've got a codable color that's got red, green, blue, alpha. And so what it does is it creates a column, Z red, Z green, Z blue, Z alpha. Okay. And then it proceeds to do another one for codable linear gradient, etc. So what I did was I was mapping all of these. And I was like, wait a second, what is going on here? This was news to me. I didn't know this before. So I got ZX, ZY for a codable unit point. I've got, if I have a gradient stop that has a codable color, it's going to have a Z red, a Z green, a Z blue, a Z alpha, a Z location. Then I have something called a codable gradient, which is an array of codable gradient stops, these guys. It stores an array of anything as a blob. So it creates a column called Z-stops, which is, it just stores this array of codable gradient stop as binary. And so on and so forth. So codable radial gradient has a gradient and it has a unit point and it has a start radius and end radius. So it's got a blob for the stops because codable gradient is that. It's got an X and a Y for the codable unit float, and then it's got another start radius and end radius. Okay. Linear gradient, something similar, a blob and then 4 floats. So what does that mean? It means that for a draw setting, for the draw setting type, which has 3 properties, fill shape style, stroke shape style, and stroke style, it produces columns for every single one of these guys. And then again for another codable shape style. And then for like codable stroke style, I've got float, 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 blob, float, float. Therefore, the total number of columns for the draw settings with 3 properties, each of which are one is an enum, second is the same enum, and the third is a respectable struct with 6 properties, one of which is an array of CG floats, which this particular array is the one that has been giving me grief in the console. Basically is saying, I don't know what to do with this array of CG floats, blah. It doesn't matter because it's a blob. It's a blob, and so why does it care? All of these things I was asking myself as I was struggling through the Swift Data errors, and I just came to this realization that depending on whether you are storing this data, this codable stroke style, as a blob itself or as an array of codable stroke styles, this may or may not be an issue. And the fact that it's sending an error and I've been checking it after the conversion and everything seems okay, I almost feel like it's okay ignoring it, but there's a little part of me that's like, but what if? So yeah, I mapped all this out, and yeah, so these are the number of tables in the draw settings table. These are the number of columns in the draw settings table. Too many. 34 table columns. And what is draw settings look like? This is draw settings. 3 variables. Okay. So that's fun. So today I learned. Well, not today. It was it's a couple days ago. There's no limit to the number of columns, says Cocotype. So I was curious about that. I was wondering if this is going to be an issue. Because what if I decide in my codable shape style to like add yet another case with some complex associated type? It's going to increase that by, n number of properties. And then if I decide to have a data type that includes multiple of these, it's that times number of properties. My gut is telling me that I'm not supposed to worry about the internals of the database, that's abstracted away for a reason. But I just don't like seeing that error message. And so what I've done is I've put together a migration plan. Okay. Put together a migration plan, and I'm just testing this out because there's a couple of changes that I've been making. So Pistachio schema V1 includes all of these Swift data models. Version 0.5 shipped with all of these as part of the model context. And so they're all defined in the database, or they're all defined in the model context. And so they have to stay here, apparently forever, in the code base. Even though I'm not using half of them, even though I've never have used half, I can't say never. I guess before this was Pistachio, this was Whippoorwill. And Whippoorwill used to be a coloring book. And the coloring book did make use of drawing sessions, draw instruction, etc. So all these things are in here as defined types, instances of which have never shipped in the app. Like live users have never made any instances of this, but I still have to include it during the migration. So that's my my version 1.0.0. Now I've defined a codable stroke style here for V1, which this is the offending type, this thing right here, this dash, array of CG floats, which gets stored as a blob that should be fine. By the way, I kind of went down this weird road because it was like, oh, you can't store a CG float because Objective-C doesn't know what to do with it because on 32-bit systems, a CG float was this precision, but now it's in 64-bit systems, it's a double precision, so CG float is equivalent to double. I'm like, oh no, I use CG float. But then I went on the internet and I saw that some people were also getting this same error when they had an array of strings, Swift strings. So it wasn't the fact that this was a CG float that was the issue. Anyway, oh yeah, definitely fix the error, but I don't think that's related to your column count. Okay, well, yeah, I agree with you. I think that the column count is its own thing. I think the enums with associated, I think that's just how Swift Data manages converting it to a table. If it's an enum, even its simple enums will store every single case as its own table column. So that's out of my hands. That's fine, even if I wasn't doing something crazy. But I didn't know that before, and I leveled up in the knowledge there. Big shout out to Fat Bob Man, who is a prolific writer, has a website, does a lot of SwiftUI articles. Big fan. So good job. Shout out to Fat Bob Man, who kind of helped me in my quest to figure out what was going on with my data. I think I am as prepared as I can be for this test tomorrow. Hey, Holy Roman Empire, good luck on the test. You'll do great. You got this. Yearly question time. Is SwiftUI and Swift Data really ready for production apps? It is the question that has plagued us, yes, every year since Swift Data's introduction to the world. I think a lot of developers are saying stay away from it for all but the most simple of applications. Some are saying, yeah, you can work with it, but it's going to be, it'll cost you. My wallet's in the car. Hey, folks and folkettes, programming is not ready for production apps. Humanity is not ready for production apps. It's true. No, we take what we can get. So here is my my V1 schema. The models are here. I've defined my codable stroke style, which was basically the same thing it's always been. And then I have this fun thing, vector path model. This is the old stuff. Before we decided to make vector path model a little more useful by having more properties, which is this. We have a user provided name now. We have a created at, we have a modified at, and we have our elements as we had before. So having these three properties, and I made them required, which would normally be, if I provide a default value, would normally be fine for a simple migration, I think. But the problem is, what do you do for previous instances of vector path model that didn't have those? You have to do some sort of a. I figured that a lightweight migration would be enough for vector path model introducing these three. But unfortunately, when I went through that exercise of a lightweight migration, I still got those. I got those errors due to codable stroke style. So I was like, oh, okay. Well, now I'm gonna have to like freaking create some sort of a migration plan. So that's what this is. So I've got my V1, V2 migration stage custom, where I was trying to figure out when I was supposed to make the change between V1 of the vector path model versus V2. There are two closures that we can implement: will migrate and did migrate. I tried fetching the codable stroke style V1 inside both of these closures, and it turns out that error message shows up after the first closure ends and before the second closure begins. Even when I tried to fetch all of the V1 codable stroke styles in the will migrate and try to convert them all to a V2, it would still produce those errors, or at least I thought they did, because I was trying a bunch of stuff, and so I was going back and forth on this. So basically, I'm currently on the custom stage, because I have my lightweight version here. I have my custom version here. And for this schema migration plan protocol, I have to define my schemas, my stages for migration stages. And that's it. And so hopefully, oh, and I'm also supposed to, if I go to the app, used to be that I could just do model types, which was here, all these guys, and then this down here that's commented, .model container for model types is undo enabled false. But this time I do model container container, and container is initialized in here, where I say try a model container for all these types, and I have to specify a migration plan as my second argument. So I need Pistachio data migration plan .self for the migration plan, and that's how we've been rolling. So if I were to, I gotta go back. I'm gonna do a stash here because I don't know how else to do this. Get stash. Okay, so this is the old stuff. This is how things have been. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to build and run and just see what we have. And then we'll go from there. Mono says, I'm still venting that navigation bars in SwiftUI are dog water to provide any sort of customization. Yeah, I hear you, man. CocoType says languages without line terminating symbols are not ready for production apps. How do you really feel, CocoType? All right, so here is my current state of being. Go back to, hold on. Bring up B. Okay. So I've got a bunch of noise in here that's mostly revenue cat stuff. Does anybody know how to turn off the revenue cat debugging? Do I just tell it to shut up? Is it? Because I would love to. Well, basically, what I need to do really is filter. I need to filter some log statements, but the problem with that is that I gotta see those core data errors. Like I really can't. Maybe what I could do is here. If I did this, if we did subsystem, and nope, they're all saying Pistachio, even though it's revenue cat. Oh shoot. Maybe I need to define a new. Category. Or a library. No. And it's one of the weeks where my previews don't load. Oh no. I was experiencing quite a bit of delay in my previews updating, even after I was restarting Xcode. So I'm rocking, what am I doing here? I'm on 26.1 right now. And I just feel like it's been kind of sluggish, even after like restarting the machine. So I'm 1 plus number of previews that I've coded for that don't load, kind of sad. I'm sorry, Mono. CocoType says, because I'm no longer streaming, I'm allowed to just say get good and it can never come back to bite me. That sounds like a pretty good plan, CocoType. I'm fairly sure I have the superpower to crash your Xcode when you aren't even streaming, so watch yourself, says Mono. So is every other designer, says Jay. Map it to another level or just ignore it in your console. Turning off the revenue cat debugging is changing the debug level before initializing it. +1 CocoType. What? Hey Jay Wilson, but included in one message so that when Nutter gets around to reading it in 15 minutes. He has all the context. You need to map the RevCat logs to another category. Start the timer. Nutter is just used to us talking smack in chat, so he doesn't bother checking for the answer. No. Okay, let me let me do this proper. No, you're right. It's fine. It's fine. Logger. Okay, so I have general and I have Swift data. Do I need to create like a new system here probably, yeah? Yeah. Oh, wait a second though. Like that won't work though for Revenue Cat, right? I still have to go in there and wait, maybe I could do it here. Configure with API key. Is this where I do it for purchases? Yeah, here it is, right here. Purchases.configure. Oh, thanks, Jay. You just passed it. Purchase debug level equals error. Okay. Configure. Okay, I'm tapping on that link, Jay. You can set a custom log handler for redirecting debug logs to your own logging system. By default, this sends info warning and error message. You can enable this by setting the log handler property. You should set this immediately in your app while testing before you configure purchases. Okay, so right here. Okay, so purchases dot log handler equals so I have to configure a log handler here. Okay, or I could just say debug level equals error. Purchases log level. Purchases.log level equals. We'll just do error for now. But the idea would be to. Is my logger? Yeah, I need to make a logger package that comes before. Before my payments package, basically. So that's what I need to do eventually. So I guess for now what we'll do is yeah, basically for here I'd be like static let payments equals app logger subsystem bundle.main.bundle identifier category payments. Yeah, I went to all the trouble to put together an app logger here so that my release builds weren't so verbose, but I should definitely do that here. So for now, to do purchases dot handler equals pistachio dot equals logger dot whatever handler. Okay, thank you so much, CocoType and Hey Jay Wilson, for the link there. Jay's thing is if you want a fully custom handler, but you can just set log level to shut it up. Yeah, I think for now I'm gonna do that. Let's run this again and see if that did the ticket. Because that would be great. Yes, I do the custom handler so I can get them into post hog easier and in the right category in my console. Yeah, nice, cool. Yeah, that's definitely the way to go. Oh, look at that! Much better. Much better. Whew. Look at that. Oh boy. Wait, I want to make sure that didn't... Wait, did that screw up all of our log levels? Nope. Okay, we still have my verbose logs. Don't worry, this only occurs on debug builds. I'm not spamming release builds with this. At least I don't think I am. That would be kind of awkward if I was. Fix the issue? Yeah. Should I steal this app logger? Seems neat. Go for it. Here, you want it? Take it. Take it! Do-do-do-do. Is that all? Yeah. Just, yeah, not quite 50 lines. It's helpful. It could be more. I could put more time into it. But the fundamental reason why I did it was so that I could kill the debug and info messages, which apparently debug and info are, according to the docs, the same. Or at least trace. Trace and debug is the same. Yeah. Anyway. Today I learned. Okay, so with that, oh, I think we should let's make a commit here. Let's make a commit so that we don't get crazy when we do the stash. Okay, so here we are staging changes. Here we're staging changes. Here we're going to quiet the debug logs in purchases. Eventually use app logger. And commits. Good. Okay, now that that's done, we're going to go ahead and we're going to press play again. Thank you. That'll derail me from my issues for a while. Self-tangent. Mono, stay on target. All right, so here's our artboard. Here's our debug view. For those of you who haven't seen the new and improved persistence debugger view, here it is. It's top level of all the Swift data types that are used in the app. If I tap on vector path models, I see this, and I see an element count for all of these, and I can drill down and see every single point on that vector path model. Draw settings, which here is the culprit. Dash right here is a 10.5.10 CG float array, stored as a blob in the database, but whatever. Never, that's not my thing, staying on target. I mean, same, hence why I'm building an internal tool for feedback. Reminds me of Windows Phone. Be back soon, gotta take care of the pets. All good, Jay. Thank you for hanging out today, by the way. Okay, Cocotype must go to the Cocoa bed. Hey, Cocotype, thank you for hanging out. I know you're getting up early in the morning. Sweet dreams. Get some sleep. Cocotype started branding all his stuff like Batman. Because I'm Cocotype. What's that, how it should have ended cartoon? Basically, that's Batman's. Because I'm Batman. Batman. Okie dokie. So, anyway. Draw settings are there. Artboards are here. Shows the layer count. All the layers. Any nested layers, any paths. It shows the drawable items. Here's where there also is a codable stroke style with 10 and 5. So all those things are here. They're being stored. Do I have any templates? yes, I have shape template presets. These things aren't as much of a problem because they're stored as data instances, which look like this. So it seems fine to me that the shape template presets are basically stored as blobs as well. Right. Anyway, that's my persistence debugger. Get to the CocoaCopter. CocoaType has his CocoaPilot's license revoked. Duff man. Oh no. So with that, I've got I can check here. I got my vector path builder, and this is the whole purpose of this monumental task was so that I could put labels on this screen. I could say, oh, here is my we're gonna name it, so that we could rename it here and sort it by last updated. That was like that's where this all started from. And then it kind of snowballed into, oh, I got to do a data migration. Yeah, that's awkward. So that's where it's currently at. We're going to do a git stash pop. And now we've got all the things that are about to happen. Again, we've got our new codable stroke style, which I'm not so certain that this is necessary. Doing a conversion to a double. Now that I've read the stuffs online, I don't think that this is going to help. Like I literally don't. Literally. I don't see how this could be helpful, because as you're about to see, the codable stroke style, where this file used to be. It used to be this. Okay, it used to just have your standard definition, but now I've said type alias codable stroke style for the entire app is the same as Pistachio schema v2 dot codable stroke style, which is this. And you'll see that this is now an array of doubles, not an array of CG floats. But it doesn't matter because it's being stored as a blob anyway. Hey, what's up, Matt Bird's Quest? What's up? What's up? How you doing? Welcome to the stream. How are you? I'm about to test a data migration, so let's see how we do. I think I already know the answer. Ready for this? And let's go. Okay, so here's what we did not want to see. Here's what we did not want to see. I'm succeeding in being happy that I am streaming and working on my own stuff and not my company's right now. So we've got these error messages here. Could not materialize Objective-C class named array from declared attribute value type array CG float of attribute name dash. So they're talking about, of course, our fun little codable stroke style type. Now, the reason why I was so confused at the number of error messages that this was showing. See, we've got it in this orange color, and then we have it in a red color, and then we have that pattern 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. So this happens 7 times. And I'm like, what's up with that? Why are you spamming me with this? I'm happy that you're happy. Thanks, Matt Birchwise. Not purposeful, I swear. No, it's all good. No, I knew this was gonna happen. And now I'm trying to be methodical about solving it. Cause I went the database route and I was like, these are all blobs. Why are you having such an issue with this? It says could not materialize Objective-C class named array. Why? Why? Commentator's curse. Gar, that reminds me. I'm missing the cricket. Gonna be hard to focus on work now that there's a Nutter and cricket stream. Hey, you got 2 windows, don't you? You got 2 monitors? You got 2 devices? Problem solved. Have closed captioned going and you're golden. So here we are. We are in closure 2. Now look at this. Now this is an interesting thing to see. These messages occurred before the did migrate. Actually, what I should do is I should do this. I should say will migrate start, will migrate end, and then I should say did migrate start, just to prove no. Error, revenue cat SDK configuration is not valid. Oh, it is an error. I guess we still have to see it. Oh well. The Objective-C class is NSArray, not array, right? Correct, Adam. That's right. And so I wonder if on the decoding stage, maybe that's something that we could deal with somehow. So the clue is I've got 7 of these. I've got 7 of these. I'm going to press stop and I'm going to press play, and I probably won't see this message again because the migration has already happened. Yep, so it's not there. So one of the annoying things about having to test like before migration and after migration is that I have to like either uninstall the app entirely, or I would have to come up with a way that I could like export the table and then I could like import that table pre-migration. So I could like go in there and I could insert the table before the migration happened. Maybe I could try that. I could go in and I could check to see, could I do that? It's on the simulator, so I could theoretically go to the folder location, just grab those files as is, copy and paste them somewhere else, go through the migration, and then nuke it, and then paste it back in. Maybe I could do that. Does anybody else do that? How do you guys debug your data migrations? Any tips and tricks? Mono says primary super ultra wide, secondary regular ultra wide, and a MacBook Pro. Holy moly! What are you, like a stock trader? I streamed once in ultra wide. The viewers were not happy except that one other guy with an ultra wide, and it was glorious. Oh, that's so awesome. Yeah. Streaming ultra wide is that's rough on the folks that don't have them. Stonks. Okay, so I'm starting to think about this idea. What do you think it could be useful? Because the only other option is removing the app, deleting the data, and starting fresh. Well, and also having to get stash. So we're back to normal. I'm trying to think if there's like a better way to do this. Mostly involving maybe a test target. Maybe I could do it that way. Okay, so now we have nothing. Oh no, this is also something interesting. We have nothing, right? Actually, we do have a draw setting. The draw setting is the only thing that gets added. Because look at my persistence debugger. The only thing I have is a single instance of draw settings, which has a dash. It's a codable stroke style. Wait, why is draw setting only showing me codable stroke style? Why is it not showing me the fill shape style and the stroke shape style? What? Okay, I have an issue here. But this is not, it's not a critical issue. Just letterbox 99% of the viewers for that one viewer who will appreciate it. Have an app data for each old version of data that you want to migrate. Set that in your scheme, then run your app from Xcode to see how it migrates. Data migration is a hard question for me because I don't use the database locally, except this new project I'm messing with, and I'm scared for the migration. Yeah, that's the thing. This is the first time I've had to do it for a personal project as well, so I'm I'm kind of out of my element here. Okay, so Adam, I like your idea. An app data for each old version of data that you want to migrate. Set that in your scheme, then run your app from Xcode to see how it migrates. Okay, so are we talking this app level? Where we go from Pistachio app, say 1 to Pistachio app v2? Or model container, maybe? A V1 model container and a V2 model container? That'd be interesting. I know I've done it once and it was scary as all heck. Got the migration bad, break all apps or lose all their data, but I'm sure you'll be fine. See, that's the thing. Like, I don't think I'll be making very many people angry if I screw things up. Yeah, so it's not currently an empty database. So that's another reason why I'm like, oh, maybe So regardless of I don't have any artboards, I don't have any layers or paths, no vector path models, no shape template presets, but I do have one draw setting with one codable stroke style. And the fact that that exists in a single draw setting, I want to see how many times I see that error again. So we're going to go back. Press stop. Hammer time. Oh dear. Oh dear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's still 7. We pray. So I only had one single instance of draw settings, and I still had 7 core data faults because it could not materialize Objective-C class named array. But look what happened. See these messages that say will migrate start, will migrate end? And then the core data faults happened, and then did migrate start happened. So this is happening. This is happening in between what I can control during the custom migration stage. Now, let's try to replace this with the migration stage lightweight version and see if that's okay. We're gonna go ahead and delete the app, and we're gonna start again. We're stashed and go. Oh dear. Oh dear. See, it happens once you relinquish control. Okay, there's my artboard. I have one draw settings. One instance of draw settings. Okay, back to formula. This time we're doing the lightweight migration. Lightweight migration. Well, still 7. 7 times. Now if we go to draw settings, so this is another thing that I can look into. What happens if I don't have any instances of draw settings? Can I change my can I go in here and basically delete this? What if I provided a way to delete this, or I didn't create one at all? What if I didn't create one at all? Let's give that a shot. What will be interesting to see is if I still get these errors, even if no instances of my models have been created. That would be a trip. And I will have learned something. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna get stash again. Okay. Never happen. Never happen. Okay. What does content view do? Content view has an array of draw settings. And then I say task helper equals init model context settings. I say if helper is not equal to nil. Wait. Settings. Is settings being produced somewhere else? Making Christmas. I'm gonna put it in the old init and see where it's getting called. What is this attribute dash? Are you changing its type? I am changing it to double. Yes. I'm changing it to array of double instead of array of CG float. Init context model context. Oh. Helper is draw settings helper. Oh. If helper is not equal to nil, new hotness, else old and busted. Where I said helper is equal to that. New hotness, environment helper. Helper is a draw settings helper. Init, context model settings. Okay, self context is context. If let setting equals settings.last, self.setting equals settings. Else, let setting equals draw settings, context insert setting, self setting equals setting. What if I don't insert it into the context? What? Oh, that's okay. Because I'm not actually saving it. Right? Yeah, I don't have any. Don't have any draw settings. None found. Okay. All right, let's try this again. Gosh dang it. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So even not having created any instances of anything, it still does this during the migration. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to, and the whole reason why this was done was because of vector whatever, right? Vector path model list. Going back to my vector path model. This guy. Just happened to add these 3 properties. And so then I had to be like, okay, like, what about my codable stroke style? And this is where I made the change from double to float, right? But if I don't do that, if I just comment this out, let's comment this out. So now, codable stroke style is V1 codable stroke style, because that's defined here. It's always an array of CG float. You see that? So now, if the only thing that I do is, oh shoot, actually, I've got to do this before the migration. No, this is okay. Okay. Go back, because here's the old codable stroke style, which was CG float. Press play. Yeah, no, it's a good question, Mono. Like I think I was trying to do like multiple types at once for the migration. Okay, so here we have nothing going on. No. Oh yeah, actually I forgot to comment it out. Wait, okay, let's go back. Delete out. Gosh dang it, Bobby. Where were we? We were in. We're in draw setting helper, I think it was. Helper. Yeah, it was this. it was the insert setting that was the issue. Okay. I'm going to start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I've got nothing. Cool. And get slash pop. Oh, crap. Gotta delete this because this was also part of... Okay, now I got it. So, I currently have a version of the app that has not yet added any instances of the models, but has been supplied with a model context with those defined types. But now I'm changing the definitions, and my new model context is going to look at V2. Well, it'll be V2 of vector path model. This is new. That's the only thing that's new. So codable stroke style is currently defined here in V1. Where's that? Oh, okay. I'm going to have to make some changes here. Cannot convert value type to closure type CG float. Okay, so I'm going to have to discard this change. Discard change. Wait, do I want to do that? Let me at least just copy this. My other errors. I know I've got them somewhere. Because if I'm not changing the type, now I gotta go back here and discard change. Build again. Okay, build succeeded. Okay, so again, this migration is a simple migration stage from V1 to V2. Haven't made any changes to codable stroke style. Okay. The only change that has been made is our vector path model, who now enjoys 3 sweet properties. So cool. Such sweet properties. Okay, here we go. Play. So it's not the conversion from an array of CG float to an array of double. It's still 7 even though I have no instances. And why is it 7 again? It would seem... Let's go back here, because I gotta go back to my freeform. Go back to... All right, codable stroke style. You are created. You are a property of a drawable item, which consists of a drawable core.style and a drawable core.passstyle, each of which has one property of codable stroke style. So that's 1, 2. Then I've got drawable metadata. In the case where it's a combo of drawable combination item, it uses an encoded drawable item.drawable core, which again has a style and a pass style, each of which has a codable stroke style. So that's 4. So that's 2, 4. Then I have a draw settings model, 5. Then I have a drawable combined shape, but drawable combined shape isn't a Swift data model, it just uses it. So that probably doesn't count. So that's 5. And then I've got triquetra attributes, ring attributes, and bar attributes, each of which use a codable stroke style. Now the triquetra attributes and the ring attributes and the bar attributes, they're stored as dang it. I'm gonna go back. Hold on a second. See, I've been spending a lot of time on this. Okay, we'll go back. Let me find it. Hold on a sec. Okay, so we have triquetra attributes, which are shape template attributes. So it has a it has a codable stroke style, which is an initializer, and then it's got a template. Now the triquetra attributes, anything that conforms to shape template attributes, for example, is a template item. So hold on. All right. So the drawable combination item has 2 encoded drawable items, each of which could be a combo. So I guess drawable combination item has a ×2 possibility. So this thing right here it has ×2. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 draw settings. I think, and I'm gonna color code these. So all the data models are gonna be green. Drawable item. Okay, hold on a second. Drawable item comes from. It currently has an array. So model artboard. Artboard has an array of drawable items. Whoops. No. There's an array of drawable items, which has 2, 4, 6. So every artboard has 6 instances of codable stroke style possible. Draw settings has 1. Then these triquetra attributes, like these all kind of like show up. They get kind of stored in template item, which consists of these getting converted to data. But then they have to, and then template item can be I guess this could be technically drawable metadata dot template, which is template item. Make sure that that's true. Yeah, so template item has shape template attributes. And template item is for here, item type template, so case template. Yeah. Encoded drawable item. This could be a template. Yeah. This is part of drawable metadata. So this is going to require attributes to be. So I think it's all about the encoding and decoding. It's happening right inside here. So I think I need to just maybe spend some time, just focus on how I am archiving this stuff. Maybe there's a clue here. So when I decode, so the error says could not materialize Objective-C class named array from declared attribute value type array of attribute name dash. But the problem with these faults for this migration is that no instances of these models are actually being created. This is the thing, this is the head scratcher. This is the head scratcher because this code is never called. This code is never called and I'm still getting these faults. I don't understand it. I'm very confused. Claude is telling me weird things like using attribute transformable var dash double equals empty array. Transformable, huh? The could not materialize array error in Swift data typically occurs because Swift data has limitations with storing arrays of primitive types directly. Yeah, that's something that I did see that during my internet searches, and that's why I was like, other people were having that issue when they had arrays of strings. It wasn't just CGFloat, it was like other, again, yeah, primitives, not objects. True. I really wish I would diagram more, Jay. Oh man, I only diagram when I'm debugging. it's pretty much. I've like reduced myself to like, okay, what are the first principles here? Why can I not get this to work? I mean, yeah, did you catch the beginning of the stream? I think you did, where I had to figure out like why all these table columns were in existence. I was making painstaking updates to this freeform file. It is helpful. It's true. It kind of helps me wrap my feeble brain around the concept. But yeah, this whole thing where I was like, wait a minute, why this number of columns? Oh yeah, it's because of all this. It's like it's sticking in my brain now, which is helpful. So yeah, I think diagramming does help to a degree. It's kind of like those things, like if you ever take notes like with a pen and paper instead of typing it on a keyboard, you're more likely to remember if you write it down. I cannot confirm or deny any of this. I just asked for my own amusement. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm baffled by this. Like, why would it do such a thing? I feel like there's something that I have to describe in the migration plan that would hopefully take care of this. Otherwise, I don't know, because like I didn't change the type and it still showed up like this. You know what I mean? So yeah, we're still blocked. You could just slap in a new column -new with double, then manually copy the dash CG flows over to the new column. That's true. That's true. We could do that. And see if the error went away. That's not a bad idea. We can give it a shot. But in that case, that means that our migration needs to be custom. It can't be lightweight. You know what I think is funny is the fact that the errors are occurring in data types that have nothing to do with the migration. And again, I wonder if these errors show up if I'm just creating a new model type. That's two things that we can try. Okay, so the first thing is create a V2 codable stroke style with a new array, and it converts one to the other. The second thing is don't make any changes, don't make any migrations, just add a new Swift data model type at all and see if this message shows up. But unsure, could just live as deprecated forever. Yeah, I mean, that's the problem with I think this is a fundamental issue with any database migration, right? Not just what we're dealing with here, but like anybody that's ever had to convert old schema to new schema. This is probably a problem that's been existing since the dawn of the first instance of using SQL. Start with just adding a new column of the desired type. It might need to be nullable though if you aren't filling it with any data. Or defaulted as empty array, I guess, works. Okay, so that's what we'll try. Yeah, okay, let's go down that path and see where it leads us. Okay, so we're gonna stop. Hammer time. We're going to remove the app, delete. We're going to go back to the shadows. Git stash. Okay, so we know that regardless of having an instance of draw settings or not, that we still get the problem. So I'm not going to worry about gatekeeping a setting of a draw settings. That's fine. We'll just do it. So here we go. So here's our instance. We have draw settings. That's fine. And now, what did you say? Just quickly try the attribute transformable var -double if you want to prove AI right or wrong. So would that be in the V2, or are you talking about right now? Before I like a fresh install. Keep in mind that, well, no, I guess that wouldn't. It would be useful information. I'm just saying, like, we're already live, and so like I can't do that, even if that were an option. Well, maybe I could. I could Now, I'm going to throw a wrench into this idea. Codable stroke style, it's just a simple struct. It's not a Swift data model. It is a type that is used in a data model. Claude says it should be a lightweight migration. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Codable stroke style, it's not a model. it's not a Swift data model. You'd be throwing huge spanners like that, wouldn't you? Yeah. Isn't that crazy? Bet you didn't see this coming, did you? No. So because of that, here's the thing. Codable stroke style is a parameter inside this struct style, also not a Swift data model, also inside path style, which is all a big part of drawable core. Drawable core is also not a Swift data model. Drawable core, however, is used inside several Swift data models. Right here. An artboard path. It's used in a drawable item, again, which is not a Swift data model, but drawable item is used inside artboard. So this is why it's a little complex. What is it then? What is it? I don't know. I don't know what it is. I'm fine. It's fine. It's okay. And here's the thing. When I'm only looking at this code base once a week, and I'm like, oh, I got to figure this out all in 4 hours. And then till next Tuesday, folks. So I'm like mulling this over while I'm like, trying to get work done, or trying to write a book on Thursdays, or trying to kill all the gods on Saturdays. Classic Nutter. Well, there's the first problem. Yeah. Yes, indeed. So again, the insinuation from AI that, oh, well, it's because you've got an array of primitive types. No. This is an array of complex type. A complex struct right here. It's an array of drawable items. This was supposed to, according to AI, make this not a big deal. So I already did this. I already proved it wrong. Since the struct itself is being stored as a transformable codable type by the model, you can just update the type from CG float to double and it should work. But with it, Claude, you're wrong. What if, Claude? What are you telling me, Claude, you jerk? Yeah, I tried that. I tried not using a simple type. So what was I going to do? I was going to, I think the second thing that I was going to try was just creating a brand new model and having that be now part of the thing, and seeing if we still get that message. So we have stashed our stuff. We press play. We're doing our stuff. Okay, nothing too crazy. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a new data model. Create a new data model, just for funsies. It'll be fun, super fun. Let's put it inside Artboard. We're gonna create a new model. We're gonna call this final class ASDF. And it has a var name string. And we're going to init name string self.name.name. Okay? It's a brand new data type. There's going to be no instances of it whatsoever. And what we're going to do is we're going to go to app.swift and we're going to go blah, just like that. There's our model types. Build and run. I didn't do any migrations. There's no migration code in here. And now I'm getting this. I bet you a nutter butter point that I was getting these messages and I completely missed them while I was in active development. I bet you that this showed up the first time I created my second model class and added it to my model types. I bet you I saw this before. Because what did I just change here? The only thing I changed was I added a new type, a new model instance to this array. And because there's more types that exist now than did previously, Swift Data underwent a migration by itself without basically not even worrying about it. So, oh yeah, you've got a new type? Yeah, that's fine. And boom, this is what happened. That's like a whole first redeem. I know. Being very generous. Sent me a Discord. Okay, I'm gonna go read. Thanks, man. Okay, so you've got a custom init from decoder. Okay, so so it's on the decoder level. So if I were to change it to an array of doubles and then do a custom init from decoder, we might be able to salvage this, is what you're saying? We could try it. Just throwing stuff at the wall, see what's it. Yeah, no, I welcome it. This is very helpful. One of the nice things about this is I found out what isn't working. What's not working. But yeah, we could give this a go. Okay, so what we found is that this will trigger a lightweight migration when I add a new type. I don't even have to do any crazy stuff with vector path model, data migration, whatever. If all I do here is if what Mono is telling me is true, then wait, what happens if I delete ASDF.self? I just want to see what's going to happen if it gets mad. Yeah, look at that. Okay, so it went through another lightweight migration where it deleted the old. Because if I do a build and run again, that message doesn't show up. I just built it and ran it again. Didn't show up. But the moment that I add it again, let's just do it again once for good measure. If what Mono says is true, we all know nothing. Concern it. That's the issue. Okay, we're gonna delete it again. We're gonna get the message again. Yep. Stop. And then we run it again. And then it's not migrating, so no message. Okay, so here's the trick. What we'll do is we will attempt this sequentially. We're going to go to codable stroke style. Here it is. And we need to, oh, I have an extension. I have an extension in it. So I'm going to convert this to what is in ASDF. ASDF is just a string. Just a name. Just an initializer with a string. That's all. That's all it is. No biggie. Nothing. So we're going to change this to a double. And we're going to, yeah, now we got to do this. If I initialize with a stroke style, then I have to say, oh, this needs to be mapped to a double of that. Just like that. And this has to be dash dot map CG float of $0. Okay. We'll try building again. Build failed because over here I gotta do this again. Dash dot map to double $. Okay. So this should have all worked. Right? Okay. We'll go back to codable stroke style. And here we need to create an init with decoder. Init from decoder. Okay, so this just auto completed this. Let's see. Let container equals try decoder dot container keyed by coding keys dot self. Self line width is try container decode CG float dot self for key line width. Self line cap is try container decode codable stroke style line cap self for key line cap. Line join for the same. Miter limit the same. Decode CG float. Self dash is try container decode double self. So here is where we need to do the CG float, right? Where we say if let CG float equals try container dot decode CG float for key dot dash. Then we can say self dot dash equals CG floats map double $0. Expected member name or initial call type after it must have optional type, not CG float. Oh, CG float dot self. Oh, I need to try question mark. Try. There we go. Else self dashes try container decode double. So we're going to try first with the CG float because this was the old stuff. Before the epic. Before the epoch of epic proportions. Porpoise? Okay. If let CG floats equals try container decode CG float dot self CG float array dot self for key dash. Self dashes map those all to doubles. Otherwise, do this and then do this. So if this works, then we should be golden. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna press play here. See if it builds. If it builds, oh, build failed. Build failed. Try? Question mark? Yep. Oh no. Oh blast. What? What? Wait a minute. Missing argument. No, I can just do a custom. Oh, because it's public? It's a public var? Is this the thing we were talking about, Jay? Are you here, Jay? Is this the issue right here? Was I trying to put this into a package? What have I done? What have I done? Why is it public? Why is this all public? I think it was because I was trying to I don't know what I was trying to do. I think I was trying to put this all into a package. So I had to do public, but then this isn't public. Like, what the heck? Hold on. If you make your properties public, that means that if you're going to create an init, then you have to do a member-wise initializer. You have to explicitly do a member-wise. Uh-oh. Hold on. Oh, gosh. No, that won't work. Missing argument for parameter from and call. Okay, it's no longer have. Where am I? I've got it in payments. I've got it in purchases. I've got it in user view model, logger, artboard view model. Okay, maybe that's the problem. Maybe that's the problem. I was trying to do this. I was trying to be smart. You know what, Swift? Screw you. Yeah, exactly. Could this be the problem? Because codable fill style is, well, it's an initializer for a stroke style, but not for a. Hold on a second. If none of these are public, and I've made this not, this should be fine. Is the reason why because I don't have a corresponding codable? What if I make this in an extension? Would it get mad at me then? Like, what if I do this? Is that okay? It's okay. It's okay. It's okay if I put it in an extension. As long as I don't put it in the initial declaration. What is this madness? Okay, let's try it. Let's build. Okay, so we're good. Now let's go back to what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to put a breakpoint here. Okay, so there's nothing. I'm a little worried. Okay, ready? ASDF.self. This is the moment of truth, folks. Ready? Here we go. I don't know anymore, man. For any cops in chat, we know encoding and decoding in public is illegal. It's meant to be done privately by extension. What else could it be? What else could it be? What else could it be? I really truly wonder if it's the dot in it. Like it. I mean, this never got called. Well, let's see if it ever does get called. Let's create an artboard. Oh, would you look at that? Would you look at that? It actually does get called. And we're gonna put a breakpoint here. Oh, would you look at that? Would you look at that? It's got 0 floats. What is this thing? What are we actually getting? We're getting on change of draw settings helper setting strokes. Okay, so we are getting the draw settings initializer right here. Wait a second. Why are we getting these messages again though? Oh. No, I understand. I understand now. Okay, so we have that. You know, it's a really nice type, CG float. How about instead of using double, we use CG float? Draw, let go. Okay. First one. I think we still need to do a custom encoder though now, don't we? Or actually, no, this should be. Why did it do that? Was it still a draw setting that I was? It's continuing to decode from CG float. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of this one. I'm gonna tap on this. Click. Move. Let go. Still decoding as CG float. Ooh, I know why. Because the draw settings haven't changed. So I'm going to press play. Press play. We're going to go over to draw settings. We're going to change the stroke style to... No, wait, hold on. Changing the line width won't do anything, will it? I'm going to change to a dash. Just decoding as floats. 1, 2. Okay. So that should have saved it as an array of doubles. Click on this. Why is it still doing this? Is it because a floating point can be? Is it because the 64-bit definition of CG float is equivalent to double? Public type alias, native type equals double. Is it always going to do this? If it's always going to do this, then am I... Can I not get around this? This isn't gonna work. I don't think. Is right. Go dash. I make my CG floats 5 and 10. That's what it is. Core graphics.cg float. I'm gonna try something else. Watch this. I'm gonna change to this, and oh shoot, there were a lot of those this time. We'll go back to one of these. Now, I'm gonna go into here, and I'm gonna say PO try container.decode, and I'm going to say double.self for key dot dash. So they're the same. They're the same. But core data doesn't know that. Core data only works with object types. It's trying to deal with NS number, right? What if we tried NS number? Candidate expects value of type bool.type for parameter 1. Got NS number.type. AJ Gala with a raid! Knife raid! Whoa, what's up? Hey, AJ Gala, how you doing? Oh boy, what's up, bestie? And with the 47-month subscription, thank you so much. How are you doing, AJ? Aw, share the love. Go follow this awesome individual right now, folks, if you haven't already. AJ is super cool. Goob, what's up? How you doing? Knife Raid. Jessor24, what's up? How you doing? Welcome to the channel. How you doing tonight? What were you doing today? You were playing RimWorld. Nice. How did the RimWorld go? Wait, do you still have a community of cannibals, or has that run its course? I remember a little bit ago you had you made some sticker designs and then played RimWorld. Oh, nice. Very cool. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the channel. I am debugging my app right now. I'm trying to add a new feature, and it's there were these errors that were throwing up in the console, and I was like, uh-oh, I gotta fix that. But I am still kind of stumped. The stickers were magnificent. I would love to see these stickers. You're doing a medieval overhaul with dinosaurs, and it's going fantastic. Oh, I love it. I love to hear that. That's awesome. AJ, just so you know, I have a working gaming PC again, and I think it might be time to get the Knife Mart team back together. If you're interested. I gotta test out my new rig. I think Knife Mart would be a great opportunity to test the limits of what this machine can do. What's up, Ear End? How you doing? Welcome. How goes it? Swizz HD, I fed the whole Apple documentation to Cursor, link by link, over 1,000 links, just to find out about MCP servers today. Oh no. Hey, but you know what? You don't know what you don't know. But wow, that's yeah. I'll bet that didn't feel good. But the cool thing though is that you have practice with giving Cursor context. So it's a win. It's a net win, and your knowledge base has increased. I sent you a screenshot with one of the sticker designs. Oh, I'll have to take a look. Did I miss anybody during this exceptional time? I think I got everybody. They aren't watermarked for sharing it, so I just went with that. All right, well then I will look at it secretly. I'm not going to show it on stream. Oh, that looks so good. Dang, you're talented. Thanks for sharing. That's so cool. Morning, I should not be awake right now. Thanks, Cloudflare. Wow, Dev, what are you doing awake, man? Don't you gotta get into the office early tomorrow? How you doing? Rage under Silk. I love when a single company like Cloudflare or AWS or MS borks everything. Yeah, exactly. It's insane. There have been a few widespread outages this year, haven't there? There's been a couple that I remember. There was another recent one. Was it another Cloudflare issue within the last month or two, right? Thanks, Misty. Yeah, absolutely. You got skills. Only way to get it right was to feed the documentation because it never got Apple's elements right without them. Oh. I mean, there you go. You've seen the limitations. Yep, I do. So thanks, Cloudflare, again. AWS, I think. Oh, yeah, it was AWS, wasn't it? Yep. I think these companies should pay us when they have an outage. I agree. Rage Underslook, we've had major outages from all three of them this year. Yeah. It's insane. What GitHub was down for a while too, right? And when GitHub is down, you got some angry nerds online. What do you mean I can't push to origin? What are you talking about? All right, I have to raid and run, but thank you for hosting my raid. Oh, AJ, you're the best. Thank you so much for visiting. Hi, raiders. Thanks for coming over. You guys are the best. Appreciate you. AWS, MS, and Cloudflare all this year. As a GCP user, I'm scared that I'm next. Oh yeah, you're done for, Mono. Azure had issues also. GitHub was another one today, yesterday. It's great to be a developer. It's, you know, they weren't kidding when they said must work in high stress environments. Be willing to adapt. Okay, so we can't decode this as an NS number. That's not allowed. So we could try, what else? What do you even do? So if CG float is equivalent to double, this little trick is going to do nothing for us. And as we saw, we still get those weird errors that are coming out of core data. I don't know what to do about that. And like I said earlier, like other people were having issues with this very thing with an array of strings, an array of Swift strings. So it's not like it's the particular CG float type that the issue is. If only the movies were accurate and I looked like Hugh Jackman, says Compile. Would you rather be Hugh Jackman tall, or would you rather be comic book accurate Wolverine played by Hugh Jackman? Swizz says these companies definitely pay a hefty fee to their partner companies. Microsoft paid a lot when their thing went down at the airports. Oh yeah, I can imagine, like, yeah, big money is changing hands, but yeah, we don't see that. Rage Understuck says, I work in DevOps installation, so I don't get screwed by the outages, but I get to hear about them, and then I laugh. Yeah, it's a pretty crazy scenario. I mean, just all of society would crumble if, like, the entire internet went down. And many times you get these instances, right, where it's like, oh, I can't use my social media app. But like for critical components, yeah, things could get pretty crazy fast. What is the error again? I'm waiting for tests and I've only been 25% paying attention. I'll show you what happens. So anytime you go through a simple migration, even with this decoder, it's basically doing nothing here now. Anytime you go through a simple migration, whether it's by adding or removing one of the model types from persistent model. Sorry, one of the model types from your model container. So I have this ASDF class that I don't use at all. I just declared it with a simple string parameter. Okay. And then I included it, and then like the app got super mad at me. I'm just going to build and run by deleting this, and Swift Data is going to do a lightweight migration behind the scenes, and it's going to be like, I don't know what to do with this array of CG floats. Yeah, this is the error. Core data fault. Could not materialize Objective-C class named array from declared attribute value type array double of attribute name dash. Well, looky here, Mono. You see how it now says array double and not CG float? It does not like an array of doubles. So converting our CG floats to doubles is not going to do a dang thing. We're still going to have this issue. Isn't that something? Which begs the question, should I even care about this error? We did at least one thing. We proved that CG float wasn't the issue. Well, actually, we didn't prove it really because CG float and double are equivalent on iOS for 64-bit systems. Never mind. Yeah, every city over like 2,000 to 5,000 people would run out of food in something like 3 to 5 days if the internet went down. Yeah, that's a scary scenario for sure. I asked CompileDev a question and then I totally ignored his answer. Yeah, Wolverine has issues with keyboards, but when he rage quits, but we wouldn't know it crumbled because people couldn't tweet it. That's true. I'm proud of us. Aren't you stuck with models? I am stuck with models, yeah. We are stuck with models. But here's the thing. If you don't use any instances of this, then you're okay. But if you did and you like removed it, then it would be very upset. It would have a different, I think it would have a different error. We got the error message to change. That's a win for me. That's always how I look at it. Different error means original problem solved. Sure. But it's the same thing. CG float versus double. Now what are we going to do? 99% of the problem is finding the problem. Like Swift data, you can't delete models. And doing a migration doesn't solve this. So doing a migration by... So again, if I go ahead and I stop and I press play, because it doesn't need to do a migration on this build, it's fine. Now I'm going to add a new type, ASDF. And I'm not making any instances of ASDF. I'm just adding it to the model context so it knows, hey, by the way, you're going to have to support this. And then shaboom. Shaboom, shaboom. Ba-da-da, ba-da-da, ba-da, 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 boo, burp, burp. Lame. Every retailer uses just-in-time logistics, meaning constant shipments, only possible via computer systems over the internet that allow tracking and constant order of resupplies. They don't keep stock on hand. Yeah, it does sound like a doomsday event waiting to happen. I thought it was just any models in general, whether or not you used it. Yeah, so these particular models, like I'm not using, like I never have used them for any live versions of the app. Sorry, pattern, draw instruction, drawing session, custom path. These guys have never seen the light of day in a production environment, but they were defined as types that the model container had to register, and so now they're stuck in the system. So I even get these array. So I get this. So the experiment that I ran was, I'm gonna do a fresh install of the app, and then on my second run, I'm going to add this new type, not having made any changes to the existing types, and then this same error showed up, only then it was array of CG float, not array of double. And then we went through here and we're like, let's do a custom decoder where we try to say container, let's decode CG float and then convert it to doubles. And then this is where we were like, oh, let's actually now make dash a double instead of CG float. But that didn't help. we would still get these messages, and would still be CG float, no matter what we did. And then what happened? We made a new migration by, again, like removing the newly added type or deleting, I forget. Yeah, remove or adding it. And then it started saying array double. So it was correctly being stored as doubles, like after like new stuff was added. But then when I changed the schema again, it gave me this issue. So knowing that CG float and double are equivalent types, that makes it a little bit harder. If we could do something crazy, we could convert these to strings instead, and then convert the string to a double. We could do that. And then eventually we probably would see array string of attribute name dash. I'm guessing. Right, but don't you have to do the migration thing from the toolbar? From the toolbar. From the toolbar. On Linux right now, so can't look it up. If you add a brand new model, does it happen? Yes. That's what we tested with ASDF. That's what we tested with this. This was the brand new model that we added, and then we got those errors. And to be clear, codable stroke style isn't a model, it's a type in a model. Yeah, that's the issue. The issue is that codable stroke style is it's not a model, but it's used in models. And that's the thing that I was astounded by, was because the internet was saying, oh, just wrap your array of primitive values in a struct, and then you'll be fine. They lied. Liars! So, for example, here's my my hero class, the artboard, which has an array of drawable items. Drawable items has something called drawable metadata, and has drawable core. Drawable core has an instance of, you guessed it, codable stroke style. Inside this struct, called style, which is just this, and also another one here, this optional in path style. So I've done the work of embedding this inside custom codable structs, like the internet told me to do, and I'm still getting this error. I've heard the internet lies. I don't know where from. Yeah, you're right, Jay. You've watched a CD stream, I see. Yeah, I'm stumped, you guys. I don't know what to do. And again, like, do I worry about this? Every single time I get a migration, I'm gonna get this this pesky message. Unless what? Unless I convert this from an array of points to data? Like, is that what it's gonna take? Do I have to instead make this? And will that solve all my problems? I hate that I would have to do that. First of all, why would a non-Swift model type, why would a Swift type that is not a Swift data model need to worry about storing things as data when it's a perfectly legitimate use case to have an array of doubles, because codable stroke style is supposed to be an exact representation of SwiftUI.stroke style. Like, it doesn't make sense from an architectural standpoint. I don't understand. I have a stupid suggestion, says Mono. Can you uncomment out dash? Can you comment out dash? Okay. You want me to do that? Where are we going with this? See if you can migrate without dash. Well, dash is used all over the place, so no, we can't. Dash is the only issue. So dash is used all over the place. Oh, of course you're gonna say that, Xcode. I say find callers. It's like I don't know. There we go. Yeah. So it's used in all. I mean, yeah, I guess directly string describing style dot dash. Quotable stroke style, CG flows map double. Dash equals stroke style dash map double. Dash dash map CG flows. So like that's because I converted this from a CG float to an array of double. So like I could go back and undo all of that. But the issue would still remain because dash is used like all over the place. And I'm also not sure what that would. You're just asking to see if like the migration would trigger. You know how Apple is. Oh, I do. It's mighty fun time over here. Good old migration. Is there anything else that we could do? Could we store it as an array of NS numbers just to shut it up? Could we do that? Like what if we said, okay, since Objective-C has such a problem, could we get away with doing something like this? Not shape style. Could we say dash is now NS number? Would that be acceptable? Because now we're going to have to go. We're going to have to go NS number. Missing argument label, non-retained object. Non-retained object? NS number float. No, double. Double. Init double has been renamed to init value. Okay. We're gonna try NS number. I hate this. I hate this so much. Dash map, and we're gonna go. Init is deprecated, replaced by init truncating. We could say dot double value. And then we just have to say CG float. Like you guys see what I'm trying to do, right? Like if Objective-C is okay with NS numbers, and I'm just making my codable stroke style type does not conform to protocol encodable, cannot automatically synthesize encodable because NS number does not conform to encodable. Okay. Git reset -f start new app. That was the screenshot that I shared with you guys. Like if you could comment it out and see if it'll migrate without it on its own branch. Give me Apple's address. We'll go sort them out. So no, it's not going to be able to migrate without it, Mono, because the dash property is used like extensively throughout the app, so it can't. Like I would have to comment out those other places too. It's a good. You know what would be helpful is if we did create a new app with just a simple example of one Swift data type, just like a bare bones Swift data application where I've defined one model that uses a type with a embedded array of Swift primitives, and watch it get all upset during a conversion. You just add a second model and you see it happen. So is the problem Objective-C or that it's a double? I think the problem is that it's a primitive, any primitive. It's about that time. It's Swift data probably. It's I think Fat Bob Man was saying something about how like the move to iOS 18 caused a lot of instability with Swift data because it was trying to conform to, it was trying to allow for multiple underlying stores, like not limited to just SQLite, but and like those kinds of enhancements made it not as stable. So you're screwed. Switch to Flutter. Move on. I need mod privileges to ban a certain person from chat. So the question is, do we... I think there was another suggestion, which was create an NS migration schema instance where you go down into like the core data API and like deal with it there. Check the box on another streamer ban. Got to collect them all. I choose you. So if I need to create hold on, cannot convert value type double to closure result type NS number. Replace double with double as numbers. No, I got this. CG floats, if let CG floats is container to code. Self.dash is try, hold on. Okay, hold on. I gotta do this. I gotta do map ns number float literal that. Else it's going to be this. So either the CG float or doubles equals try container self dash equals doubles map and this number float literal $0. Else, and then we'll just say self dot dash equals try container decode ns number dot self for key dash. No, it's array of ns number. No exact matches and called instance method decode. Candidate expects value of type bool dot type for parameter got ns number dot type. Wait, what is that? Wait, what? We can't do this? We can't do this? We can't decode an array of ns number? What? How long would it take to make this new test app? I think the migration you mentioned is what I was thinking of. 30 minutes? Seems like a hot cup of tea problem. Be right back. It wouldn't take very long at all, actually. So I need to... It's because NS number doesn't conform to decodable. Oh. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, NS number doesn't conform to decodable. It was telling me that at the very beginning. Okay. All right. You know what we're gonna... It wasn't an issue with public, although we thought it could be. Okay, now what? Now what do we do? What if... I have an idea. This is going to be stupid. Struct safe codable double. Value double. Now, would this work? Safe codable double. It's codable and it's just got a value in here. Safe codable. No, now I make this dash. Safe codable double. Why? Okay, so we're gonna do this. We're gonna show the change. We're gonna say map hide change. We're gonna say because we still have to solve the problem. Even making a test app that does this, that has the same problem, it's still gonna give me the same issue. I have to figure out how to fix this. So safe codable double value $0. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to say stroke style dash CG float. It's going to be 0 dot value. Yep. with this custom decoder, gross. If we already have an array of CG float, then we have to map this to safe codable double value $0. Else self dash is try container.code. Boom. Oops, forgot the opening paren. Okay, so we're moving. We're now moving from primitive types to basically a wrapper type. Is what we're doing now. Stored property type safe codable double does not conform to protocol equatable, preventing synthesized conformance of codable stroke style equatable. Candidate would match if codable stroke style conform to raw representable. Okay, so I just make you hashable. You're codable hashable, and you should be okay. Yeah, we good? So everywhere that used to be a double, or CG float, is now I might need to also do this for doubles because I did get them stored as double. Well, this should be fine. This should be fine. Here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do, guys. We're gonna kill the app. We're gonna remove it. We're gonna burn it to the ground, and we're going to do a git stash. We're doing yet another git stash. Okay, so this is as it is in live. We're gonna build save codable double. I need to rename it. I basically needed to do a safe. Basically, it's going to be like a primitive wrapper, a codable wrapper for Swift data. Who's a jerk? Okay, so here's our Swift data. Dash is currently stored as an array of CG floats. Okay, but what I intend to do, I'm gonna clean up this town. By golly. So now I said, okay, now I'm adding ASDF, which means we are going to do a primitive, we're going to do a lightweight migration. And now, wait, hold on a second. Why do you no longer work? Yeah, save codable level. So value. So I'm converting. Oh, hold on. Oh, yeah. No, I need to do it this way. Hold on. Shoot. Okay. That was embarrassing. Okay, I have to make sure I can actually build this. I don't know why. Was it building before? I lost track of reality. It has been a moment. I have to. What do you? Okay, hold on a second. I understand why iOS devs typically are paid more than Android devs. It's all the therapy required. True story. I hope there's a therapy place close to another open after hours. Which part of the Swift docs are you today? Yeah, you mean the docs that don't explain anything about? Oh, by the way, here are some common pitfalls in Swift data. None of that exists. None of that exists in the docs. They just say, hey, Look how simple it is to create data persistence with Swift data. Just take your existing data types and just add the app model to them, and you're good to go. What do you mean NS number is not decodable? It's a number, and it's 2025. Why am I using NS things anyway? They told us Swift data would be great. You've been fed a lie. It ships with the foldable phone and stable Xcode. Yeah, I have officially lost it. Save codable double with options did load. I can't believe it's not a Swift double butter. Hey, save it for the therapy lady. Her CD's roundtable podcast therapist. I don't know anymore. Okay, now if this doesn't work, I'm gonna call it a night. I'm doing literally what the internet is telling me to do, saying wrap your primitives in a codable type down to the very last, like this is the last possible bastion of hope right here. This is it. I don't know what else to do. You're projecting confidence, so I'm thinking it'll work. Huh. Okay, let's see what happened. What happened up here? That's a lot of messages. Okay. Could not materialize Objective C class named array. I know. I explained myself. I explained that we were doing this with the decoder. Did I not? You know what? I forgot to do the breakpoint is what I forgot to do. Core data error. Add persistent store with type. Return to error. NS Coco error domain. Source model. So this is a new error. It did not like us doing this. Oh dear. I don't know what to make of that. Those are the only changes. Okay. I'm on edge. It did not work. Yeah, we really need that stuff that happened to me this week as a dev podcast. Worth a 10-year run, like a weekly stand-up. Ooh, Swift stand-up podcast. Basically, either how you are blocked by Swift or what was a total joke with Swift this week. Yeah, I mean, this is it, folks. It might be a good idea to write the simplest example of a migration gone wrong, using the same things that we've done here. You've got one type that works, and is basically do something that's not even like artboard.self, something equivalent to like just a simple type that has an array, or even not, maybe not even an array, maybe just like one drawable item or whatever that has drawable in it. You know what I mean? Like the simplest of the simple stuff. Basically, have something that has a codable struct that has an array of something here, and they did not like this. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's do that and send it to Coco and say why. Yeah. Give Coco Type something to mull over. That should get me on the dub stage, right? Yeah, you should. Yeah, that'll get you there. Yeah, I think I'm spent. I can't do this. I tried all the options. Nothing's working. I cannot get that error to go away. It's hurting my heart. Anakin. You have done that yourself. Wait a minute. Why is there barbecue sauce on my bathrobe? All right. That's it for tonight, you guys. This was fun, but oh boy. Yeah, what I need to do is to create a new app project that showcases this problem and see and just to like the minimum sequence of steps that'll do this, and then go from there. What if I type alias double? I don't think it would do anything personally. Head on pillow solution presents. That's what I need to do. I just need to go to bed and the answer will come to me. And we still, man, I haven't pushed an update in over 2 weeks. When was the last Pistachio update? The last Pistachio update was November 2nd. So it's been 2 weeks. A little over 2 weeks since 0.6. Bummer. But hey, we'll get there soon. I could work on other tickets that don't require a data migration, but it's still something that's lurking underneath that's going to be a problem no matter what I do. The next time I add any new data types, it's gonna rear its ugly head. I don't think it would do anything, but it's something that would keep me awake. But if I type alias double, I don't see what that's gonna do. I don't know. Okay, here, I'm gonna capture this. By the way, I'm gonna select all. I'm gonna copy this so I don't. I've done this before where I forget to paste the output. I'm getting a beach ball after having tried to copy and paste this into the Notes app. Okay, I finally pasted it. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop and I'm going to try to launch it again and I'm going to see what happens. Oh, it did the same thing. Oh, it is in a bad state. It is in a bad state, you guys. This is wonderful. Okay. It's time to go. Hey, many thanks to those who have kept me company this evening through the thick and the thin. AJ Gala for the awesome raid and for the resub. And just thanks all for being delightful in chat. It's been a lot of fun. Yeah, it was something. I don't know what it was, but it was something. Send it as a voicemail to Coco, 6-hour voicemail. Yeah, you guys are awesome. Next scheduled stream is Thursday. We're going to shift gears and we're going to return to our book writing. I still haven't finished the section on the concentric rectangle. I forgot the name of the type. The concentric rectangle is still, we still got to wrap that up. Maybe I can get some time between now and next stream. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, bye.